Hello there. How are you? How is everything? How is everything? Okay, so today we're going to be doing some Blender stuff as usual. Let me first reduce on this music, it's a bit louder. Okay, so yeah, so I was on a session and I saw this piece here by Rodolphe Galvez, and I think it looks amazing. It will introduce us to a few things, like texture painting, doing some materials. Hello, Muhammad Fahad, how are you? Hello, God Cyber, how are you? How are you doing? Yeah, so today we're going to try something like this. We're just going to use this piece as inspiration as usual, and big fan of your designs. Thank you, God Cyber, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to use this as inspiration just to see what we can do. Hello, Kalana Nish Sarah, how are you? How's everything? How's your day? Okay, yeah, so let's get into it. But I think before we get into it, let me first save this image here as for inspiration here. Then let me, yeah, so yeah, before we get into it, I wanted to do a quick promo as usual, just a way to support the channel and make it sustainable. Yeah, so today I want to look at Grab It. This is an add-on, an amazing add-on. If you are into animation, you know that animating a character picking up objects is quite difficult. And I saw this add-on and I was just blown away because it just makes it very, very simple to do. So if you do it directly in Blender, the usual way, the default way, it can be a bit difficult. You have to do a lot of rigging, and you have to know what you're doing. But this add-on just makes things much easier. You can see how easily it is to make a character grab things and throw them away. It's just mind-blowingly easy to do using this add-on. It's called the Grab It add-on, and I'll provide a link in the description if you want to get it for yourself. And just makes everything super easy. Just a few clicks and you're good to go. Yeah, if you have ever tried, you can even try it now if you have not tried animating a character picking up anything, and see how difficult it is. But with this add-on, it makes it super easy. So if you want to check it out, the link is in the description. Another add-on I want to promote. This is actually not an add-on. If you are into character creation, CG Cookie has an amazing course, a detailed amazing course on lighting, sculpting, and texturing a human character. So yeah, if you are interested in that, the link is provided in the chat. When you use the link, it helps out the channel. The last add-on I want to promote is the simple sci-fi add-on. This is a pack that lets you kind of create a city, generate cities with sci-fi elements, and it's just a sci-fi pack. Let me just call it that. It's an amazing pack. It's by Chip Walter. He's an amazing creator. He has created a few add-ons that I use myself. So if you want to check it out, I'll be leaving a link in the chat. Yeah, so let's get into today's topic. I know. Yeah, we're going to be making this warehouse or something similar like this. I want to see if I can get everything done here. So let's try and time ourselves. Good morning. What are we doing today? Yeah, so today we are doing something like this. This has a lot of elements, so we may not be able to do everything, but we'll try. Hello, Rafa from Spain. How are you? How is Spain? How is everything? Okay. Let me grab this. Let's start with a plane for the ground, skeleton the X, and I think, let me actually expand this. Let's start by making a surface like this. Let me apply the scale, go to this. Okay, this can be a good tutorial for anyone who is new to texturing in Blender, as we're going to do this from scratch. So yeah, let's create a new material. I'll import an image. I'm using my quick functions add-on to do this. It makes the process easier. It brings also it gives you a pie menu using Shift Q that you can gives you access to a few functions. So let's go to the resources, my resources, and find some grunge maps that I can use. I'll go to grunge. Where is that? Can't find that. okay, grunges. And I think let me just also add a bookmark here so that I can easily access it. So let me start with this texture here. And another add-on I'm using is the node preview add-on that gives us this node preview. I don't have a link in the chat, but I'll make sure. Let me see if I can get that node preview. Yeah, node preview add-on. So if you want to get this node preview add-on, let me add the link also in the chat for you guys. Okay, equal 33. So the link is in the description if you want to get this add-on. Just adds this image preview of the nodes you're working with. And let's pin this image here. I'll connect this to the base color. Actually, I want this to be connected to the, instead of connecting this to the base color, I want it to be connected to maybe, let me import another image as well from my grunge map. So I want to blend a few images to get a rich texture like this. And so let's blend about a few of these. Let's blend a few of these, and let me make sure that I'm saving this in warehouse, like so. Okay, so we have 3 images. This. I think I need to change this. Let's first blend this with this. Just use maybe multiply or screen. Okay, it doesn't give us a lot of detail. Let's try overlay. Okay, so I'm just trying to create a rich texture. I'm going to use a color ramp, convert color ramp here, just to give this some bit of color. So some bit of a mix of, I don't know, something like that. And I'm also going to grab this and another image here. I like maybe this, blend the two. Maybe let's use multiply. Or let's just use mix. Actually, I think I like darken. Just create another color ramp here. This time let's use some reddish color. Yes, we want to have some color variation in this. Let's blend the two. Let's try overlay. Ambo, hello. I want to ask you how to use install add-ons fabrics of your market. If I buy, you just go under edit preferences and install. After you download the add-on, you just find it and install it. I have a video on the marketplace itself if you want to get it from there, explaining the process of using the add-on and the installation process. Yeah, so this is the surface. It looks super smooth. So we can also just grab the setup, the setup we had here. Just use a mix. Yeah, no problem, man. Like this, and just use this as the roughness. And let's see. You can see our surface looks a bit too wet and maybe a bit too dirty. So one thing I could do is add a color ramp here, just so I have control over the contrast of the reflections in case I want to do that. Maybe scale this a bit on the X actually, and let's make the surface less dirty. maybe maybe less green. So it depends on how you want the surface to look. I think that's good. Now you can see we have some dead leaves, some dead surfaces, some dead stuff, basically. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Unify Seeker 1. Thank you. So let's do that. We're going to grab, let me grab a texture, a plane like this, and just give it a displacement texture. Subdivide it a few times. Like this. And I'm going to increase the strength of this. So we have some random paper like that. Then give it a new material. I'll call this paper. And I'm going to import an image texture. Let's go back to, I think I want something like that. Let me go to my deco. Let me see this decos here. Yeah, this here. And just make sure I can view it here. So I can just grab this, and it just gives us something like that, a piece like that. And I can use a grunge map. So grunge maps, grab something like this for the roughness. Just create a simple shader. Roughness, shade smooth, maybe turn down this. Just create a few shapes, turn on proportional editing. Because what we're doing is creating this paper, and what I'm going to do is make sure that the back side is a different material or a different texture. So let me grab this. Where do you get your textures from? I just do Google or textures.com or CC0 textures or even Texture Heaven. Let's bring in a geometry nodes input. Geometry node like this, and I just want to use the back facing as the mix. So just going to grab this color, and then the back facing. So the back side is basically a different color like that. So this can just be paper material. I don't know how paper material looks, but let's see. Let me see if I have a paper surface texture that I could use here. Yeah, something like this could work. And for this we can just use object mapping. Yeah, so one side is that, another is a different material, and then you can just use it like so. So that's one piece. Can duplicate this, down proportional editing, just move these pieces around, these vertices around, basically to shape it, maybe scale it flat on the surface. I just want it to look a bit different, and because it's using the same texture, I can find a different texture, can use it here. So we can have plenty of different papers, or whatever you want to call it. You might call this like that. Okay, something like that. Then we can have these as papers in a collection called papers, and just select this, go to this, select this face, and just maybe subdivide it a few times. And as long as I'm doing that, I will just remove this bottom face so we can have enough subdivisions, and go to the hair particle system. I can try use, let's just use the hair particle system. I was going to use geometry nodes, but I don't think that's going to work very well. Shift in, okay, like that. And I want just the top faces to have these particles, so I'll go into new vertex group, assign. Let's go to the particle system, render, collection, papers. We don't want many, we don't want that many, so we want like 100 at different scales and rotations. Also in the source we can change this to random, not even distribution. The rotation can also be random, can also be randomized like that. And in the vertex group we can select this as the vertex group. So we have some dirty stuff, some papers on this. Hello Ashtori Egulo, how are you doing? What's going on? We're just making something like a warehouse here. And I think how we could do is to make this, we can add a displacement modifier maybe, just to make the surface less even. So I'll do that. I can even just use my quick functions add-on displacement to add the displacement for me, but I don't want the displacement to be too heavy, so just a slight displacement like that. And I think I need to reduce on the green in this, so we have less green. Yes, so I think surface like this looks good. We can also go back to the particle system. Actually, this has to be below the displacement. Let's go back to the particle system, make sure that we turn on use modifier stack. Okay, something like that. We can go back to the collection here, make some small, really small particles, like a single or two faces like this. Yes, make some small particles. That, and you can see that our surface is starting to look kind of good maybe. And let's also grab an icosphere like this with very few segments. I can give it the same material as this. This is going to be our like small stones that you might see in this. And I think another thing I could do is decimate it so that we don't have that much resolution. So I'll add a decimate modifier, just unsubdivide it like that. So these are going to be simply our pebbles, small stones, and just something like that. Now we can make a few variations of these. Small stones like that. I think they look better with the subdivisions, so let me do that, but that's going to introduce more resolution, though I think we will survive. And just have this at 2, apply at 1, and then apply. So those are going to be our stones. Let me put them in a collection called stones like that, and basically come back to this. I think I need to make this a bit, since this is supposed to be a warehouse, let's make it a bit taller like that, and auto smooth like that. So we can go back to the particle system. I think we can duplicate this. I'll name these let me first name these as stones. I use a different seed and come to the render instance, change this to stones. Yo, thank you for subscribing, MB. Thank you, really appreciate it. If you're new here and you find this interesting, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would be really amazing. Yeah, so you can see now we have some stones, small stones scattered around. Now we can increase this to maybe 1,000, just like that. Yeah, let's set up our camera now. Let me make sure that my scale is not too ridiculous. So 40 meters is a bit too high, so it's a bit too much. Let's make sure that the scale of these is low. Now go back to so these are stones and these are papers like that. So yeah, so that's I think a good start. Reduce the strength of the displacement. Okay, now I think we can create these kind of iron sheets that are made up, that make up the. Let me set up my camera a bit here. Use a 25mm like that. Okay. Okay, let's create these. So for those iron sheets, just going to grab these, subdivide it. Let me turn on my shortcuts. Shortcuts here. Control B. Think the shape of this is similar to something like this. Round it off. Something like that. Now I can extrude these on the Z, shade smooth, recalculate normals. Origin to 3D cursor. Just scale this up. Auto smooth. Okay. We can use an array. Just start from here. I think this need to be very small like that, and we can make other lengths of these somewhat there, and let's create. Actually, we can just use this material again, so like this, but this time we can use actually let me apply this and remove any doubles, then UV unwrap this, and just let me call this roof metal. Hello Lutaro Majums, how are you? How is your day? Okay, let's make this metallic and make it less colorful. Yeah, so something like that, I think. Let me turn on ambient occlusion here. Ambient occlusion like that. Yeah, we can use this as the roof piece. So I can make a few copies of this. So this is going to be our door. So I can have a copy here, then duplicate this up like that, and maybe use an array modifier to just have something like that. So if we go back to the camera, we can see that. Maybe let me scale this. I shouldn't be scaling this. If I'm doing this, I should be you know what, let me just do that like that, and then I can apply this array. Just make sure that this is not an instance, so make single user object. Okay, then I can apply the array now. Come back here. I want the roof to be this shape, so let's do that. So I know the center is here, so I can grab these. Actually, I just need to grab that. I then use the shear tool at an angle like that. Then grab a mirror tool and let me set the origin to a 3D cursor, turn on bisect, flip, and we have that. Then I can duplicate this. So this is sort of modular, so makes the process much faster, much easier. And I can add an array, and basically we have at least one side. And just to make this more interesting, just going to add a few subdivisions to this. Actually, yeah, to make this more interesting, let me duplicate this, Shift D. Actually, let me make this a single user, subdivide it, and add a displacement modifier. Just in the X direction only. Now in the Y direction, I think, but shouldn't be too much. Maybe we can increase the scale so that this is not evenly distributed, and we can use a global. Actually, we can just use object. Let's see, global. Does this change? Yeah, it does change. Global, and this would be global X. Direction would be X in the X direction, just a tiny bit like that. Hello, BNM. It's really hard to pronounce your name, but how are you? BNMation. Okay. Now that we have that, we can duplicate this until we get. So I'm just going to first duplicate this like this. Have this duplicated. Now maybe rotated a bit. So I don't want to make this super clean. So we want to have some bit of disorder. So like this warehouse was pieced together. Just some pieces taller. Just gives some visual interesting. Your workflow is awesome. Thank you, Rafa. So your name is called Bia Na Chion. Still very hard to pronounce. Still very hard. But yeah, thanks for letting me know how that is pronounced. Okay. Get this. You can see, and maybe some something like that. Duplicate this like that, and with that we can also just copy this, Shift D, and I think I just need to scale this up and then rotate it, and it should be our roof like that. I just have to select these pieces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I can duplicate these, rotate, have this here. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we want to make this look kind of something like that. Be right back. I'm gonna get some chocolate. Spare me some, or get me some as well. Okay, so let's make these joints here. I have them already, but I want to show you how to make them. I think they could be very useful. So let's start by creating these. I think they are L shapes. So I'll just use a plane, rotate 90 degrees. I think I can just get these. So this is the shape. Extrude on the X. Push it out just a bit. Even offset like that. Is it? Yeah, I think so. And since we have this material already, let me just reuse that link material. So just make sure that this is unwrapped or smart projected like that. Just make sure that this is a bit darker, and now you can use color hue saturation to make this darker. So hue and saturation, make this a bit dark like that. Now we can you know what, to make our life even easier, we can just select, we just need these faces, so we can get rid of the rest. I need a coffee 10 a.m. here. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. It's not too late though, is it? 10 a.m. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is okay. It's still early, but you can get a coffee. Sure. Okay, let's add normals, and now we can use a solidify modifier here, like so, and I just bring this above, turn on even, offset, and maybe just reduce the bevel a bit, turn on, make sure we have auto smooth, like that. Now we have been using object projection here, which I think I will need to use. We have been using, sorry, let me see. Here is my mapping. Yeah, just add mapping. Make sure that I'm using object mapping here. Grab these. Make sure that I'm using box for these. I'm from East Africa, Uganda. Hello, Snipero Gaming. How are you? Yeah, I think I remember you, man. I mean, I don't remember I usually don't remember the conversations, but I remember the names much easier. So how's that? Okay, now let's make one of these. So I'll just bring this here. I think I need to scale this down quite significantly. Bring this down as well. Bring the thickness as well down. Scale this on the X. Yeah, so origin to 3D cursor. You can you make me chat mode? The chat goes slow enough for me to moderate it myself, so that wouldn't be necessary. Okay, I just come here. I bring it. I think I can add this somewhere like there. Like that. We need a few of these hanging around, so I'm just going to grab an array and just add a few of these. They seem to be extending way too much. Outside, so let's do this like that. Okay, something like that. And we don't need all 6 of them. Okay. Okay, so then I'm also just going to grab another piece here. I'll rotate it, and that maybe mirror 8 on the Y like that. Just rotate it. Then grab a mirror. Use the flow as the mirror. Turn on bisect, so we have that. And okay. Something like that. You always have a clear idea of what to do, of what next to do. So I guess a lot of years of experience. Yeah. And since I have a reference image I'm looking at it, so it also makes it much easier. So let's put these things here. Support beams, I don't know how they call them, but let me first make them. I did this on the, just need to first isolate one piece here, turn off all these modifiers except this. I think I need to rotate this 90 degrees. I think this one, if you look closely, let me add a loop cut here. Actually, I don't even need that. I just need to grab this edge loop, mirror this on the X, bring it here, extrude up. I'm not sure. I don't think you can see it. You can see it that easily, but just trying to add some extra detail here that so grab this, Ctrl L, Shift D, mirror this on the X, just have it something like that. Now the next thing we need is some bolts, so I can grab a sphere, a circle, 8 vertices, fill it, rotate it on the X 90 degrees. I'll give it the metal material, unwrap this, So something like that. Actually, let me see if it's not going to be necessary to add any depth, because I want to join this to this. Control J, and that should give us because we have a solidify modifier there, it should give us the necessary details we need. Just so we can have some bolts. I think I will also need a few on this side. Like that. Okay, we have that now, and just start adding it to different places, so we can have one there, and with that we can also grab these bottom pieces, Control L, including these, Shift D, Control mirror them on the Z, so we have something like that. I think I need to use the shear tool to kind of have them. Let me get that. Okay, it's mostly this edge. It's not even going to be that visible, but then we can just make this shorter. Yo, thank you for subscribing, John Doe. Thank you. Smart move, thank you. It's too dark at that area. Hello, that's Igo Annie. Thank you for subscribing as well. Big bolts. You mean the bolts are too big? Let me see. Let me rescale them a bit. Individual origins, scale down. And I think the issue is now let me select all the bolts we have. Give them a new vertex group. All these bolts. Select the rest. Okay, now we can use two solidify modifiers. One can be used for the bolts. Actually, this can use for the this can be used for the non-bolts, and then have another solidify modifier. Solidify. Okay, let me just duplicate this. Shift D. This one uses the bolts. For some reason, then the bevel doesn't work with that setup. Anyway, let's just maintain the same setup we had. It's okay. It's going to be too far to see any flaws easily. Okay, so yeah, let's keep it like that. Grab these, make sure that they're sitting like that. Okay. I would rotate the bolts on the right side. Okay, so which one would be the right side? This side? Or do you mean these? Just have them this side. Okay, then I think we can just come here duplicate this, grab this, make it scaled up like that. And I think yeah, I think this might have been a bit too big, so let's get it down. Let's get it down a bunch like that. Just have it like that. Let me see how this looks now. Do something like that. Looks convincing. It's convincing enough, so let's make copies, bring up another copy. Like that. I think this one can be seated somewhere like that. And now we can use an array and then a mirror that uses the flow like that. And maybe we don't need that many pieces because these look way too many. So I can just maybe bring this closer there, up. So have that, and I think the array for this has to be pushed forward a bit so that the camera can see it. Yeah, now it looks like we have something that supports, we have a structure. And I'm going to grab these, rotate this 90, maybe rotate this 90 degrees, 90 degrees, have it here. And this I think should be a bit, actually let me make this into an H shape. Looks nice. Thank you. And come here, Shift D, mirror this. Okay. Actually, you can make this into a C shape, as those are more common. So something like that. Just has to be rotated 180 degrees and maybe brought a bit forward and maybe scaled down like so. And just going to grab this piece, extrude up, Ctrl L, just some structure to this, and just have some light bolts as well. So I'll add a circle, fill it. I think there are some sizable bolts. Give this a new material, metal, assign. Like that. And I think we can also use this here. Okay. Now with that, we can bring up the array, just something like that, and then use a mirror as well. Okay, then I think I can use this again without the array to make the structure for the door like that. It also need one here, mirror on the X, okay, so we have that. We need some light to be coming through here, so I'm going to grab a few of these. Let me see. We need some structures, some of these to go. Let me grab this like that, so we can have, I think, actually, let me grab one here. This one can be somewhere there, and another one somewhere there. So this here we can make, let me actually grab these one, two, shorten these. To be around that size, then duplicate them to have something like that. But then these can use a different material, so actually they can use the same material, Ctrl-L, link material, but it's not metallic, non-metal, and it is transparent, translucent. So I'll grab a shader, translucent, blend it with this, and just grab this in the color and also in the factor, and just can see how that looks. So if we add a sun, so a sun, light, sun, actually we're just going to use, let me split this so we have shade 3D view. Let's use cycles. I think let's use cycles. Just grab a sun, a sky texture. Think that looks good. Let me just make sure that these cover everything nicely. What are you doing at a job? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you asking like what is my job? Like what I do for a living? Is that it? Now let's go back to this and make it a bit rough. So I'll add a math node here. I can see and let's change the direction of the sun to maybe 45. Okay, 45 looks a bit let's see 60. Let's try 25, 35, and the angle to be, the elevation to be maybe 30. And these translucent, these objects shouldn't cast any shadows, so I think that is per object. Anyway, let's see. Let me go to my asset library and grab our character from there. Add it to the scene, just so we have something in there. Hello, Jose Benedito. How are you? Okay, something like that. Yeah, BR Nation, please don't do that. Kinda, let's not have that. Anyway, so let's see what else can we do. Adding these crates, I don't know. Do I have anything like that? Crate. Box. Let me go to my furniture library. Just start populating this furniture. Hey, Athenkos Nyathera, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Okay. Let me add a few things in here. Hey dude, good to be watching you in real time like this. I only joined a short while ago. Where did the metal sheet asset come from? Did you make them, or are they assets already? So which metro sheets are these? These ones here? Are those ones? I've made them just here. I made them a few minutes ago. Let's start just placing stuff. Let's see, what can we... I think I can grab this, have it, place somewhere. Just have like 2 there. And I want to make this a bit dirty, so I'm going to grab a grunge map. So texture, let me grab a grunge map like this here. Actually, I need it on this material. In the grunge map like this, to control the this. Let me use object mapping here. So let me grab a car ramp here. And I also use this to control the color. So we can have, I think, brownish. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Jerry Run. Thank you, thank you. Let me see how this mask looks. It's facing the wrong direction. Let me apply this array and just do a cube projection. Maybe rotate this. And then maybe let me see. How about a smart projection? And it's not giving me the results I want. Let's cube projection, flat. Yeah, something like that, except these parts here need to be rotated as well, so that we have also this side here can be rotated. So now, I'm tempted to add a bevel on this, but that's going to cause a few issues. Nice work. Thank you, thank you. PC specs, just use exclamation mark specs. I see, and I think that's good for me. Should I make it just, yeah, something like that? maybe switch the colors around. Actually, let me just have it like that. And then let's see what other objects can we add in here. I don't know why a door would be here, but let me just drop it in. Something. Let me grab which one? No, let me see. What can we use here? Hello, Kapil Patel. How are you? I'm great. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, let me also grab this. I had it somewhere. Grab this desk. Like that. The cargo warehouse in GTA. I am well. Thank you for asking. I guess it could be that, but no, that's not what I was going for. Just I was just doing something random. BN Nation, you're just some stuff you are putting in the chat is not really acceptable, man. Okay. I think another thing we could do is I want to make this a bit dirty, like I did here. So let's try grabbing this entire node tree. Let me see. Maybe we can also add some of these particles onto this surface. So I'm just going to copy this particle system. Can I copy, and just, can I paste it here? Can't. I can't. Let me first apply this and just link copy modifiers like that. But I only want for the top face. Joshua knows, how are you? It's a beautiful life. Thank you. Good. Where did the reference image come from? I recognize that tool is Megascan asset. Oh, this here? Yeah, so this one was from ArtStation. Yeah, so I want all the particles to use. I don't want displacement. I also only need one particle system. Actually, we can use two, but they should all use the group. Let me go back to this, assign, remove. Yeah, so I want all the particles, actually I want them to be on the top face only. Just the top face. I think you may need to make some cuts so we have some faces. Okay, like that. And I think I can also insert these beads. Remove, then come to this, have like maybe 50 pieces like that. And we can also just make this roughness a bit high. You guys are legend. Please make how to create medieval battle scene like huge armies, arrows. Yeah, that requires a very powerful PC, which I don't really have. Okay, let's add some like dust over this surface, over this object and other objects. So I'm going to grab a geometry node. What is that? Geometry node. And then a separate XY. I'll use the normal direction for the Z. I like that. Is there a reason you are asking this question? Okay, I'm not sure what he was asking, but oh, you do math nodes to change a roughness? Yeah, it just makes it a bit more rough. Control the overall roughness. I thought you use car ramps. You can also use car ramps, but I prefer. I actually use a combination of both. Okay, so we want some dust on this, and I can do a math node. Change this to greater than. Actually, I want add. Just have the dust like that. So even when you have this rotated, and I'm going to create a dot shader. So let's use should we use a diffuse? Let's just use some diffuse. And then mix shader. So this is going to be the factor, and this can be like that. You can already see how the dust looks, but maybe it should be on the top. So this should be 1. Yeah, so some dust accumulating onto everything like that, I think is a good thing. Just something like that is enough. You don't really have to be too fancy. Maybe we can even add texture, a noise texture to the bump. If you could add or change something in Blender software, what would it be? If I could add or change something in Blender, what could it be? Let me see. I would have to really think about it. But of course, there's certainly a lot of things I would change. I would want to change, but I'm not sure on top of my head what I would change right now. Or maybe be able to create procedural textures like in Substance Designer. That's a feature I would always want, and maybe texturing, have the same texturing features that I get in Substance Painter. Yeah, in Blender that as well. So that would also be amazing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just grab this entire group, turn it into a node group like this, and now I can call this dot. And actually, let me also kind of expose. Let me also expose the base, this color here, and maybe the roughness. So with that, I can just grab this and start putting it on top of other surfaces. So I can paste it here and use it for this wood. So this goes into the shader, and then this becomes our new output. Like there are a few things I would really change, but mostly just ripping features from Substance Designer and Substance Painter, because it has some amazing features that we just dream of inside Blender. Yeah, just have that. And maybe another thing we could do is in the factor here, I can add a color mix node. And just use, also expose this factor as well. So what kind of ideas would you have, Patel? What kind of ideas would you want there as well? Let me just ask, because I'm sure by the time you ask, you must have some interesting ideas yourself. What would you see? What would you want to change? Can we download your project for reference? If so, can we download it? Where can we download? You can get all my projects from patreon.com/topchannel1on1. That's where, yeah. It's going to make this. And I can grab a grind map and just use this as the factor here. So let me see how this looks. Add some contrast. Maybe change some dot like that. You can make it, yeah, something like that, I think. Let me also come back to this, tweak it a bit. Just have some rough surface. That surface. Thanks a lot for sharing. It's a pleasure watching you work. Need to leave work. Have a nice day. No problem. Thank you for being around and joining us. Okay, let's see what else can we add in here. Let me see, can I put in furniture? Thank you, TJ John, for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Let's see what else can we add in here. Yeah, I have this lamp. That I think I make it editable so that I can make this dirty. So I grab this, copy this entire chain link, this entire link, paste it in here, just so we have this. Okay. What is this? Oh, okay. So this is supposed to be on this. Just make the surface dirty like that. Looks, I think, amazing. And also going to grab again this and paste it on here. Okay, you can see the dot there. Like that. Okay. Let me grab this. I wonder how powerful the PCs are that make animated Pixar and DreamWorks films. I think usually, I think I saw a post on Twitter where one of the animators just used just a regular gaming PC, but when it comes to rendering, they have a render farm. They just send the project over, especially during the lockdown. As they were working from home. Okay. Do the same again here. Hey Art, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, they just use regular pieces, nothing super fancy about them, but it's usually during rendering that they bring out the big guns, because rendering is no joke. You have to have some good machines. I think that looks good. Just need to change. Okay. Need to do the same here. And you can also do it on this. So basically do it on every object. Okay. My PC doubles as a room heater. Good thing I have a cold country. That so you don't really have to spend on heating, which is amazing. Let's see what else can we add in here. Let's see if I bring in some buildings. I'm going to add a side building out here. Do I have any road? Let's see. Let's put it this way. Top channel, my heating system broke on Christmas. It was the warmest room in the house during that time. Well, I think you might be spending more money on heating. So if your PCs must be consuming a lot of electricity, that if you put that money to a new PC, you would just be getting a better PC than what you're having. So yeah, I would recommend to just get a new PC, because the amount of money you're spending on heating should be enough to buy a new one. Because it's not just it's also using up energy and money to heat up your room. So you're not getting the heating for free. I would just use an HDR map, not to model building. Yeah, but I already have the building, so I'm not really modeling anything. Okay. Blender just crashed. That's okay. Why am I opening up Substance? Yeah, if you stopped using your PC for a month, you probably save up enough money from just the cost from the money that was going to heating, and save and buy a new PC, man. It would be enough money to buy a new PC, I'm sure. I want to create an entire build city block, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. The project is already heavy, so let's keep things simple. Yeah, since Blender is not letting me do anything more, I think I'm going to end the stream right here. Let me just give this a quick render. One thing I want to do, maybe show off here for a bit. Let me first get rid of these. Let me also grab this and this, duplicate, because this backside wasn't covered. And it should be. Grab these. Let's see. Okay, we're getting more contrast. Can play out the setting. Maybe let's make this Yeah, so I think I'm going to end this project here, but before I end the stream, I also want to show off one more thing. So I'm working on some, let me see. So if you're a patron, I'm working on some, let me see if I can get that. Some pipes that you could use in your scenes. So let me show you how that looks. These are some pipes that you could, that I'll be putting up on my Patreon page and Blender Market for any of you who might be interested. Well detailed pieces that you can use in your scene. I'm still doing the render previews. PC lagging on stream. CPU is lagging out stream. Oh, thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, anyway, let me see. Let me try to play this in the view animation. Yeah, you can see these are quite high detailed pieces that are going to be up on my Patreon page and so if you want to get these